what's up, y'all? It's your girl Dr.T and my husband Megawatts. What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's talk about this show. It's getting good, even
Yes,
better.
it is getting good. But today is the NFL draft. You know what I'm saying? I'm repping. Got
Mhm.
the Steelers. It starts in about 20 minutes, so this gonna be quick. All right.
Mm. Yeah, we're gonna get a quick one in and out. Yeah, we're
Yo,
gonna
let
get
me
it.
turn my phone over before I mess around and get a notification or something.
Mm.
Okay, so we are back to review the Never Ever Met season 2, episode 3. All
Yes,
right, so let
indeed.
me get us going here.
Mhm.
All right, and we just gonna use this just so when we talking about the people, we can pull up the people. Okay. So we start off with Alicia and Irvin. So
Mhm.
when we left off on episode 2, they
Mm.
were having uh was it a fight?
Yeah,
Argument.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, they
Ab-
were having an argument. Alicia felt unsafe.
oh
Irvin was
Lord.
really upset because I think she had went upstairs to do yoga with Brandon, and he had been
Mm.
asking her to do yoga like the whole day. And plus, she wasn't being affectionate, and it was just a whole lot of stuff just bubbled over. So we pick up this scene. We pick up this scene there. So they talked about, and
Mhm.
I did like that they were able to come together and talk about this,
Mm.
and she wanted to talk about like how are we going to act towards each other when we're upset, and she expressed to Irvin that she felt like when he's upset with her, his energy is off.
Mhm.
He's loud, his body's really tense, and that kind of makes her feel a little uneasy. um
She said unsafe.
eh, yes, unsafe.
So you
Yeah, and then
saying
he expressed that I forgot exactly what he said.
um in regards to what exactly? The unsafe part because what he did say was he wanted to leave the situation. Every man should leave the situation
Yeah, that's right.
if the female
Yeah.
says they feel unsafe, aka a dog whistle. So yeah, personally, we need to make sure that we leave the vicinity. We saw what happened to Shannon Sharp. We saw what happened to some other individuals. Women, if they're saying they're unsafe, especially black men, big black men, you know, they need to leave the situation immediately so they can't say, "Hey, you're being manipulative, you're being dangerous, threatening, whatever." Leave the situation immediately. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. Do you have a different one?
No, I agree. And I think a larger issue is this is something that you need to discuss with um, your significant other, your spouse. So I do like that
Mm.
she brought this up. How are we going to treat each other when we disagree, right? When
Mhm.
everything's all good, it's cool. But what if you get on my nerves and I'm really mad at you? What
Yeah.
are we gonna do? Are we gonna cuss each other out? Do we call each other out our names? Do
Mhm.
we sleep in separate rooms? Can I leave
Mm.
the house for 2 days? Do
Mm.
I post something on social media, some cryptic something? So
Mm.
I think they didn't really get to the bottom of it, but I like where she was going with that. And I do think when you start a relationship, you do have to set the rules. Like we can be upset with each other, but we're not gonna be cussing each other out. You're not gonna be hitting me upside the head, or
Mm.
whatever the case. Because we do tend to act a little out of character when we're upset, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
you gotta have some boundaries. So I like the premise of what she was trying to do there. I don't think they resolved anything. I think he's still upset, but
I think they resolved absolutely nothing. I don't know if we're gonna get into the therapist part yet,
Yep, yeah,
but
we'll get there.
yeah,
But I see what she was trying to do. I see what she was trying to do, and I'm glad she expressed like, "Hey, when you get upset and you act this way, it makes me
mhm.
feel a little unsafe." So I see
Unsafe
what she was
is a
trying.
uh,
Yeah.
it's a strong word to say something you feeling unsafe. Now, you know, are you feeling disappointed in the situation? Are you feeling angry at the situation? Are you feeling uncomfortable? Yeah,
Mhm.
uncomfortable is the cousin of unsafe, but it's better. Unsafe is like saying, "Hey, this person's a serious threat to my safety, my physical, my spiritual, my mental, my, sexual safety." Yeah, man. You can go a lot of places with that. You can't be
Yeah.
playing with that word. You can't just be tossing that one around, you know, especially black men. That got a lot of black men killed with, certain demographical women saying, "Hey, this black man is making me feel unsafe," and here comes the lynch mob, or here comes
Yep, that
the police
is true. That's true, that's true.
officer.
That is true. So she might need another word
Yeah,
choice.
please, please choose another word, please.
So in the end, they agreed to protect their emotional energy. So they both
Mhm,
agreed that, when they are feeling away, if they need to leave, whatever you need to do, that's cool to do. So
mhm.
that was that scene. Next, Kiki. Oh my
Do
goodness.
you love me?
Girl, what is going on? So
Yeah.
we they show Kiki and she is drinking and like falling over on the couch and she almost fell. They had to
Yeah,
help her
man.
up. She ended
Mhm.
up sleeping on the couch and
Mm.
Brandon expressed his concerns. I forgot who he talked to. He talked to somebody. He was like, "Yeah, I think I need to bring this up with her. Like, I'm not sure what's going on." So he went
Yeah.
up to talk to her and asked her, um,
Feel like he was talking
if
to
she
Jared, right? Or did he talk
mhm.
didn't he talk to Jared about that?
It
Uh,
might have been Jared. Let me go to them, my bad. Let me see, where's Kiki and Brandon? Oh, there we go, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so he asked her, like, "Is
Yeah.
everything okay? Are you an alcoholic? Like, what is really
Mhm.
going on?" And she says that she's a fun drunk, um, so she doesn't see the issue, she's not harming anybody,
Lord have
but she's
mercy.
definitely not an alcoholic.
Mm.
So what is your take on, Kiki?
Kiki is definitely borderline alcoholic vibes. Um, you know why? But it's because she's using it as a crutch.
Mm,
She's using it for several different reasons. The ones that she actually pointed out was the fact that her mother passed away, God rest her soul, and she turned to the bottle. When somebody says they turn to the bottle, yeah, they're trying to drown away a lot of pain, and they're going overboard, and they probably drinking until they can't stand up or walk straight, talk straight, throwing up. They drinking when someone's turning to the bottle because they don't want to be in
mhm,
their right mind. So she's saying you're a fun drunk. I don't know what that means because when you're drunk, you're drunk. Whether you're fun, violent, you know, sexual, when you're drunk, you're drunk. And there's a lot of problems that happen to young men who deal with women who are drunk. Um, Especially in college settings when the women are getting drunk and they just got out the house and all that. You're in a situation where a female is drinking too much, you're just having a good time and she's drinking too much and she's drunk. If one thing leads to another, you guys are intimate, she can wake up and say, "Hey, I wasn't in my right mind.
mhm,
This person raped me." You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? And, especially depending on the demographic, uh, it happens, man. So you just need to steer away from women who are drunk, period. That was always a rule of mine. If you were getting too drunk, if you couldn't handle your alcohol or whatever around me, if it was a social setting, and it always needs to be moderation is the key, especially, you know, if your life is faith-based, you definitely need to, what I'm saying, use moderation when it comes to alcohol in general, wine in general. But, uh, if you're in that situation and you're in a public setting and you're around your friends and you're around your loved ones and then your girl is tumbling over a couch, rolling around saying, I'm fun," that's really embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's extremely embarrassing. So nothing good is gonna come out of that. So, he's just trying to help her to slow down. She's young. She's what, 28? She's
She's
not in her
not
30s.
young, babe. She is 29. I don't know why you keep calling her young.
29. You're not in your 30s. Ah, you you still seem really young to me." But, but yeah, I mean, she's just still trying to experience like, she doesn't know how to have fun without having all these extra things attached to the fun.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
That's the problem.
Kiki, I'm disappointed because you have a good man. I mean, I don't know if so he
Mhm.
got a baby that's about to pop up or something, but
Right.
seems like he's a
Secret.
really good brother. He's attractive, he's in shape, and it's like, you know, I don't even wanna Imma just say it. When you're, you know, plus
Plus
size
size.
like she is, very overweight, you know what I'm saying? You may not have as many options. So if you have a
Mhm.
good attractive brother that likes you, it's like, "What are
Mm,
you doing right now?" But to your point, I do
mhm.
agree that she probably is using it to cope, and it's almost become her method of loosening up and having fun. She feels like I gotta do this to have fun. So they just showed us that little scene. We'll see more as the episode progresses, but that was just a prelude. So
I'm
then
not
the
sure if
next
she
episode, oh,
yeah,
next episode,
yeah, I'm not
the
I'm
next
not sure
scene
if she's doing it to please people or what, but yeah, she needs to slow down. Yeah, next thing.
definitely need to slow down. So then they pan over to Jared and Charlie.
Mm,
And, we know
mm.
what's coming up, but right here and again, we clocked this, I said this last episode, I said, "He definitely is not gonna be with her. The only reason he's on this show is, 1, to have sex, and 2, to get a break from the babies." Did I not say that?
Yes, you
And
did. You was
so
on point. You was on
and
point.
so in this scene, he's like, "Ha ha." They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make it work." "Oh yeah, we're gonna make it work." And you just gotta handle the logistics. "Oh yeah, we
Mm,
need a big house." And she says she has a 6-bedroom house. I said, "Now Charlie, what you
yes,
do for a living, girl? Did you got
and
a
that yeah,
6-bedroom house?"
that did take me back a little bit. And I was like, "Okay, so she has
Charlie
money.
got a good job.
Well, clearly she has money if she has a
Yeah, so he's just
six-bedroom house."
giggling along and all of that. So we'll
Mhm,
we'll see what comes up later in the episode, but I just felt in my spirit, I was like, he is not trying to do all that.
mm-mm,
So then this was they started off the show with just a lot of apologies. So we had Alicia
mhm,
and Irvin, then we got Chris. They go over to Chris
mm.
and Alexis, and so
Oh,
they
yeah.
apologizing to each other.
This is definitely the apology show for sure.
Yeah, so she's apologizing for being controlling. She definitely doesn't want to trigger him. So I still don't know if her actions are gonna change, but I was
Mhm.
glad they were able to talk about this, and I didn't think she was gonna take accountability, so I was kinda surprised,
Yeah, I was shocked at that
yeah,
actually.
that she apologized so quickly.
You know what? I think she knew he was serious. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? When she played the, "Oh, I can do what I wanna do as long as there's a sexual angle involved,
Yeah.
I can do what I want," and he still wasn't going for it, that's when she was like, "Okay, he's
"Baby,
serious."
I'm just playing."
Mhm.
And
And
that's what you see a lot of times with those
mhm,
type of, personalities, they have the hard exterior,
mhm,
like hers is like, "I don't care, I don't know," and then when a person's like, "Alright, I'm done with this," then they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So that was right on par. So then we are ready for our activity.
mhm,
And the activity, they have all the couples come outside and they are going to play a game of Kama Sutra,
mhm.
where and which these are different, positions. And so
Yeah.
they're gonna flip over the card, you see the position, and then one couple has to go against another couple, and I guess the host was the person that was determining who wins, and who
Mhm,
whatever couple can outlast, to the end would get a massage, a couple's massage that night. Which I'm
mhm,
thinking they're gonna say, like, "We're gonna take you off and you get to have dinner or something." It
mhm.
was like,
At
"You get
least
a
dinner.
massage."
At
I was
least
like,
dinner.
"Okay."
I was like, "Okay, a
Y'all,
massage?
to me, personally, massages are not therapeutic for me because
Mm,
my mind is always going like 1,000 miles per hour, and I'm always thinking like, "I need to do this, I need to be over there, dot, 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 dot." And when I am getting a massage, I have nothing but time to think, right?
mhm,
So it's n I when I get off the table from a massage, my head hurts. I have like a headache because I've just had an hour to think about all the things I need to be doing. So
mhm.
I need to learn how to quiet my mind. So yeah, I wouldn't have been happy about a couple's massage.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Yeah, um,
So
yeah, I'm not really
so
big on
yeah.
the massage thing. I mean, it's cool,
Yeah,
but
so they're doing this activity, and once again, I don't know why every exercise on the show has to be sexual. I feel like you can still do really fun things that have good entertainment value for the audience without it being
mhm,
some crazy sexual thing every time. But here we go again. And
mhm.
so the first couple up is Alicia and Irvin, and they choose to go against Clay and Tatiana. And of course, Alicia was like, she's not ready for this. She's not ready for the touch. And I already knew she wasn't going to be with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they went up against, let's see. So it was Alicia and Irvin against, yeah, Clay and Tatiana.
mhm,
So Alicia and Irvin did not win because she
mm.
just wasn't into it. So Clay and Ty win.
She was basically a mannequin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, "That's not gonna work."
Mm, she
And
looked
so then
so
they went up against Brandon and Kiki, okay, and they beat them. So then they went up against Jared and Charlie, and, they beat them. And then they went up against, Jay and Cinco. Where are we at? Yeah, so then they went up against Jay and Cinco, but they did not beat Jay and Cinco. And when they did this one, Tatiana said she thought Clay was being performative and doing too much because he was
ab
like grabbing her butt and massaging it, and she was kind of like, okay.
right.
So she kind of felt her way there. So then Jay and
Yeah,
Cinco went up against Ty and Brittany.
mhm.
And Ty and Brittany beat them. So then Ty and Brittany, they were the last people standing, and they were gonna go up against Chris and yeah, Chris and Alexis. Yeah, and so Ty and Brittany ended up being the winners. And so they are able to get the massage, which they didn't show on this show. I think they're gonna show it on next show. So that was that. So not too much came of that. So then in the next scene, Clay Clavassier. I just shortened it for Clay. Clay talks to Jared. Okay, so let's remember Clay here. So remember last episode, Clay told us that he also has a baby. Okay,
Yeah.
that he has not told Tatiana about. So he decides to go outside and talk to Jared, not knowing that Tatiana was kind of in the distance. So he says this was hilarious to me the way he phrased this. He said his ex fiance moved across the country and ended up in his house pregnant. So I was like, "What does that mean?" What do you mean she ended up I'm like, if he wouldn't have told us he had a baby, he almost made it seem like she got pregnant and, like, ended up moving in with him or something. Like, she got pregnant somewhere else and ended up so Jared was like, "Is that baby yours?" He was like, "I mean, yeah."
Well, that's
So
what
you
he
mean she moved
insinuated.
in with y'all had sex and you had a baby? She was making it seem like the baby was somebody else's or something. Like, she ended up in my house pregnant. I don't know how that happened.
Well, he insinuated he didn't know if it was his or not. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
then
you
he said he
caught
has a
that.
daughter, so I was confused about that too.
He was wondering whether or not that was his baby. That's kinda what I got from it. Maybe I misread that scene.
That is what he said, and then he said, "I have a daughter," and so I don't know which one it is.
I think he don't know if that's his baby or not, and he shoulda just said that, you know? He shoulda went to her and said, "I don't know if this is my kid, but she said she came to me and said she was pregnant. I need to find out whether that's my child or not. I don't think it is because I wasn't having intercourse with her. Of course, if he was, then that's gonna be a big problem.
Yeah.
So, either way, she's not gonna be happy, but at least it won't be his kid if it's not. So,
I'm picking up from this scene that is absolutely his baby, and Clay is a liar.
mm,
If anybody tells you they're not a liar, they're a liar, right? So he says, "Yeah, I don't want her to look at me like as a liar and like I'm keeping secrets."
mm,
I'm like you mean like what you're doing? That's exactly what you're doing.
mm, mm.
And so, Tatiana was in the distance, overhears him, comes, sits down beside him, and was like, "Hey, I heard you saying, like, you wanted to tell me something."
Mhm.
The way he did a 360 spin out of this,
Mm.
I kinda admired him for it. I was like,
Mm.
"Dang, how'd you get out of that one?"
It was good,
'Cause
man.
he was
He
talking
was
in
good.
circles, and she clocked it. She was like, "I feel like you talking in circles." And he was like, "I just love you." You know what I'm saying?
You
That
know, he's
and I
he
was saying that
yeah.
I don't know how to tell you that I love you. And I
Mhm.
was like, "Dang, that was good." I would have bought that.
I know it.
I thought she bought it. Now, in her confessional, she was saying that she still felt something was up, so maybe she didn't buy it all the way. But, he spent himself out of that. It was impressive. But it did show me that, okay, so Clay is a liar, 1, and he's a good talker, and that's scary. Those 2 combinations are scary.
Mm. The lying
So,
gift
what
the
did you think
gab.
about that scene?
Um, glad you asked. Pretty much, I'm thinking he is just trying to save face from something he knows is gonna end his relationship. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, he pretty much, uh, is lying and said, "Yeah, I'm thinking that, I love you, baby." You know what I'm saying? And it seems sincere in a way, but we all know he's lying. He wants to say something else. You know what I mean? But, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? I think that she's on to him. She knows that he don't really have much, to hide, or he's got a lot to hide because clearly she overheard the conversation. She would have had to maybe I'm not sure if she's playing into how much she heard.
Yeah, she didn't hear the whole thing,
I I think she heard more.
'cause she
You
woulda
know what
went
I'm
off.
saying? I think she heard more, of the conversation than she's trying to admit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay. So moving right along, next was we are back to my girl Kiki. So Kiki is in the bed. She's complaining that she is hot. Um,
Mhm.
and so I think it was Brittany, because I think she was supposed to be helping Brittany cook in the kitchen. She wasn't down there. So Brittany went upstairs, like, girl, where you at? And Kiki was like, "Oh, I'm just so hot." So Brittany went to go get Brandon. Brandon comes upstairs and immediately was like, "Have you been drinking? Do you think this is because you're drinking?" And she's kind of getting put off of about him keep bringing up the drinking thing, and she thinks he's trying to control her and take away her fun. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I just think he not feeling the whole drinking habit that she has. She over drinks. Like I said, the guy is a fit dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that has a healthy lifestyle. So he likes to eat healthy. He likes to work out. He likes to do healthy things. And normally, just naturally, you're gonna want your partner to do healthy things and not be so unhealthy because drinking is very unhealthy.
Mhm.
So especially if you're over drinking, it's just gonna show more of the unhealthiness that's just stemming from the root of your lifestyle. It's like, listen, cut the drinks out. At least show me that you want to live healthy. Show me that you want, even if you're plus size, you want to be a healthy plus size.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because it's just really unhealthy to be that size, to drink that much, to not work out, to eat any way you want. It's not gonna end well for anyone, and I just think that, as far as cooking for everybody, uh, and and her not helping him, he saw another side of her that he didn't like. He's like, "Listen, I'm doing this. I want us to be a team, be partners. Please help me during this time, so because it's our time to cook for everyone, but you're not here. You're not helping." He's like, "If why is everybody else having to help me cook? Why aren't you helping me? You're my woman." You know what I'm saying? So he took extreme offense. And when men cook and they don't feel like it's appreciated, man, men take it harder than women do because that's something
Mhm.
that's not in a man's comfort zone.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't understand what's happening with Kiki. I will say though, let me say that when your partner spouse does confide in you and say, "Hey," now she really isn't taking accountability, but if your partner says, "Hey, I'm dealing with this," or I'm having this issue, you and I'm not blaming Brandon on this, but I'm just saying you got to be careful about constantly throwing it in their face
Mm,
and thinking every time they mess up, "Oh, is it because of that? See, it's that. See, if you would have been doing that," and they're gonna be like, "Dang, I shouldn't even shared it with you." So I kind of see where Kiki is coming from. That Kiki is in the wrong here, but they should have just got together, talked, maybe gone to see the therapist and just resolve this once and for all. What's happening is it's not being resolved, and they keep talking about it and keep talking about it over and over and over. And that's because Kiki isn't taking accountability, for the most part. And so, yeah. So she was in bed talking about she was just so hot, and I don't know if she was doing it because she was trying to get out of cooking. Not sure what was going on there.
mm,
But then they panned to
mm,
Alicia and Irvin. And I think at this point, they have decided to talk to a therapist, which I really like that because a lot of dating shows, whatever drama you have, you just in it. So I like that they have the option to talk to a therapist. That's really cool. So
mm.
they go outside, talk to the therapist, and he feels basically, in a nutshell, they're going in a circle because he feels that she isn't being affectionate, and she
Mhm.
feels like, "Dang, I'm going through, this disease and I'm trying to recover. Why aren't you showing me empathy?"
Got it.
And they're not able to see each other's side.
Yeah.
I don't know if they accomplished a lot with the therapist. What'd you think?
I didn't think they accomplished much either. I just think he probably got a different perspective of what she was trying to say through the therapist. I didn't hear a lot of solutions.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just tripping, but, I didn't hear a lot of solutions from the therapist. I just heard, "Well, yeah, you're making him feel like he has to change himself because
Mhm.
from your drama or your trauma," and then
Yeah, that was good. That was a good point.
and that was good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so then what's the solution? Am I going to change what I'm saying? Is she
Yeah.
gonna
Y'all
change?
just try to understand each other? Alright, see y'all later.
Yeah, it's like I didn't hear a lot of, solution-based, um, anything to do, you know what I mean? Just, "This is the problem, yeah, well, let me accentuate the problem. Let me
She
let you know what the
rephrased
problem
it pretty
is."
much.
Yeah, "This is what the problem is," you know what I mean? But how do we solve that problem? Well, I didn't get that, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? I didn't get how to solve the problem at all.
agreed, agreed. So that was pretty
Mhm.
short, but, maybe it was more and they just didn't show us.
Yeah,
So
possible.
in the next scene, and this is what you were alluding to. So the next scene, Kiki and Brandon were supposed to cook together. So I guess each of the couples take turns cooking, whether it be, lunch or dinner or whatever. So Kiki and Brandon were supposed to cook, and he was really excited to cook with her because I'm guessing her favorite meal is hibachi, and this was going to be his first time cooking that. So he was really excited.
Yeah,
Um, and so again, he's thinking she's still upstairs, hot or whatever, trying to
and
cool
sit.
off. They look outside and homegirl outside, like walking to the pool, not even trying to like come in the kitchen, see what's going on. You need help, babe. And so he felt a way
Yeah,
about that. And the other couples pretty much had to come together to help him.
I
And so
definitely
when
would've felt the way.
so when she came in, he was like, "Dang, are you dependable?" And he was talking about that in his confessional, like, "Man, I don't know if I can depend on her. Like, she
This
knew we were
dude
supposed to cook, and if all these other couples didn't help me, I pretty much would have been in here by myself."
stuck.
So what'd you think about this? I know you kinda shared your thoughts already a little
Yeah,
bit.
I definitely share my thoughts. It's this he felt highly disrespected, he felt like she she was saying everything that she was projecting. She said, "I feel abandoned. I feel ignored," but she was doing the exact same thing
Yeah.
to him. Like, she was, like, projecting, gaslighting, like, "Yo, what do you mean you feel abandoned?" And when she was talking to her friend, the one with the jokey joke partner,
Brittany.
Brittany, Brittany didn't really reinforce that she was in the wrong enough, I don't feel like.
None
You know
of
what
the
I'm saying?
women really were, yeah, they were like,
She
"Yeah,
was
girl, I definitely understand."
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, you ain't gotta go back in there." Like, why not?" She said, like, "We supposed to be cooking together." Like, "What do you
Brittany
mean?"
was mad because I think her and Brittany was supposed to cook first. I think Brittany was mad, like, "Yeah, you ain't help me, don't help them."
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so that's where you're coming with it, like, you feel like no one helped them cook when it was for everybody, but everybody
Well,
jumping in and
if you
okay.
remember, like, I don't know what the scenario was, but Kiki was supposed to be helping Brittany cook at first. I don't know if that was a breakfast. And remember, Brittany kept looking around like, and that's why
Okay.
Brittany went upstairs because she was like, I was wondering where Kiki was because she was supposed to be helping me cook.
Oh,
And so I'm just making this up, but I'm guessing Brittany was like, well, you ain't helped me cook, so I guess you ain't got to help them either. Stay on out here. You ain't helped me.
that don't even make
So
sense though,
I, I
because
think
it was her turn to cook.
I think it was
What
she might have been on some passive aggressive, "I'm mad at you."
Kiki?
Yeah, like, "I'm
Well
mad at
well
you,
well,
so Imma act like I don't
absolutely.
know I'm supposed to be in there cooking, and then when you come outside, Imma be like, 'What? Who? Oh,' and I'm act confused." But I think she could have been playing a passive aggressive game right there, because she couldn't have been that confused, like, it's very simple, just go cook.
Well, just help your partner cook. It's y'all's turn.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And maybe
Crazy,
she
crazy,
can't
crazy.
cook. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to mask the fact she can't cook, you know?
Well, remember she was like, "Yeah, can you get those noodles and, put them in that pot of water and then" and Imma be upstairs.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Kiki was on one this episode.
I don't think Kiki
So,
can cook. Now that I think about it, she probably can't cook.
I don't know, I think
Gotta
Kiki
be
can
that.
cook. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't know if she missing no meals. I think Kiki can cook.
Oh, okay. Maybe she eats a lot of takeout. I don't know.
True, true, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next scene, so they finally got the food together. Brandon and the other couples cook, and they're all sitting down eating dinner. And this is definitely something production told them to do to play this stupid game where they have to say, they're supposed to be here for 2.5 weeks. But if we were to leave tomorrow, would you say yes or no?
Come
So they
on.
each had to go around and write yes or no and put it in a pot. Um, so Charlie, of course, she says yes because she wants somebody to take care of these 4 kids she has. So
Mm,
she is clinging to Jared with all her might. But surprisingly, there were a lot of no's, like quite
yeah.
a few.
Mhm.
And so what we find out is that so the game is over and Brandon's like, "Well, I gotta go to clean up the dishes." And Kiki does not help him clean the kitchen. And we
Yeah.
find out that she wrote undecided on hers,
Mhm.
well, she'll put a question mark, I think, or something like that. So she goes in to play pool, like, with some of the other guys, and she's like, "Dang, we've been best friends for 4 years,
Mhm.
and I don't even know who that is." And
She
I'm just
lying.
like,
She lying.
"If y'all been best friends," she didn't say friends, she said best friends. "If y'all been
Mm,
best friends for 4 years, like, how did he not know
mhm.
that you drink like that?" I mean, I guess since it's
Mhm.
online, I guess that's possible. But I don't know, I feel like he would have seen her drunk, like, a couple of
Mhm.
times. You see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? That may be why in that first scene when they did the photo shoot
Mhm.
and, he was pouring her some wine while he said something, and we was like, "Where he get that from?" So maybe he had an inkling.
Well, he said, "I poured you enough."
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
so
he
maybe
said.
he had an inkling that from their encounters, like, "Dang, she is drunk a lot when we be on
Yeah.
online."
So he was just like, "Listen, like, moderation is key, sister. Like, you drinking way too much here for it to be my woman. I don't want no
Yeah.
drunk woman." You
So
know?
she wants to talk about it, but then he's like, "Look, I'm tired. I just cooked for 14 people. I just
Yeah.
cleaned up the kitchen. Like, I
Mhm.
am tired. I don't wanna talk about it."
He ain't want he ain't wanna talk to he didn't wanna be around her at that point. He was upset. He's like, "Listen, you wasn't trying to be around me when I had work to do, but you sure was
Right.
eating that hibachi. You was eating it right on with everybody else. You sure ate the food." You know what I'm saying? and you didn't even help me clean up. Like, you at least you could have been like, "You know what? He cooked. Let me make it right. Let me go in and clean the kitchen."
Right.
Buddy had to go in and clean it.
That
Once
was so rude. I would have
yeah,
been hot. You hear
dude,
me?
when
I would have had steam.
you could hear him. He was saying, like, he was talking, mumbling under his breath, like, "Man, what is this? Like, nah, this ain't it, bro. Like, she can't even help me do something that's important. She's irresponsible. She's not carrying herself like a woman, like the woman that I
She's
wanted."
immature. I think you nailed it. She is immature.
She a
She was
little
in the
girl.
bed sucking her thumb. I was like, "What's
Yeah.
happening?"
Like, what is going on here? Like,
She
you a
doesn't take
definitely a little
accountability. Yeah, doesn't take accountability. If I'm mad, Imma just avoid you. Yeah, I don't think she must not have been in a lot of relationships
well,
'cause
I
she
mean
just is giving immature.
well, we spoke on it. She probably didn't have a lot of options for serious relationships
That's
to
true, yeah,
begin with, because if she still had the same body shape that she has now, then not a lot of men are attracted to that, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But, um, there are a select few that are.
yeah, that's
So,
true.
he's one of them. And
Mhm,
so, I mean, you need to take advantage. She's fumbling the bag, the relationship bag.
for
Like, you know what
real.
I'm saying? She can have a good relationship if she just acts right. If she just doesn't drink all day long and be a super alcoholic drunk. If she just helps me cook. If she just helps wash the dishes when I'm doing a task that takes work. You could have cut the task time in half.
Right.
No, you just sit back, drink some more, and watch me do it. No, he was like, "Man, you gotta
And
be
he
kidding
wrote
me."
"no" on his. He
Yeah,
wrote "no," yeah, Kiki wrote a question mark. So they had a small intervention, I guess. So I guess they was all still sitting at the dining table talking about it, and then, of course, Kiki
mhm,
walks in. She like, "Hey, y'all." They was like, "Yeah, we was kinda, talking about you." So then they're like, "Oh, Brandon, there you go. Come on in too." So Brandon, even though he didn't wanna talk about it, he kinda got bullied into talking
mhm.
about it.
Yeah, he
And
did.
so, again, he just voices the same thing that he's just set it out to drinking, and pretty
Mhm.
much that he just doesn't care anymore. Like, if you don't care, then fine. And as she was drinking a cup of wine, she was like, "I mean, it's wine." He was like, "It's still alcohol." That was funny.
Oh, yeah, bruh.
No accountability from Kiki.
Mhm. It's she just don't care. I feel like she developed a strong vice and addiction to it. She's
Mhm.
not willing to let go, even for him. She says, "This
Yeah,
makes me feel good. This comforts me. I've been doing this for years since my mom died.
right, it's a
I turn
crutch.
to the bottle." That's what she said. She worships the bottle,
Yeah,
and over she'll be willing to forfeit a great relationship, a great guy for that comfort. That's what she wants. She wants to have that drink. So, hey, when she gets over it, hopefully a few years down the line, sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years, sometimes it just takes a bad situation, you know. Once she gets over it and, you know, her mind gets renewed on that, and she wakes up and it's like, "Man, I really had a great guy. I wish I was mature enough not to be a old drunkard."
right. Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And she's gonna regret that. She is,
Yeah,
for sure.
and to your point, we'll jump this to the scene real quick. So Kiki, yeah, like you said, she was talking to Tatiana and telling her that she turned to the bottle because of when her mom died, and
Mhm,
I couldn't imagine.
mm-mm,
So
mm,
I understand, but I feel like she should have been having this conversation with Brandon, not Tatiana.
mm,
That's who she should have been opening up to. You see what
mm,
I'm saying? Not shedding all
mhm.
these tears for Tatiana. You need to be shedding these tears with your man. So,
Well, he
great
wasn't
points on that.
going. So, I mean, I understand 'cause she was like, "Look, I peed him off." You know what I'm saying? He not going. He not trying to hear nothing I got to say right now. I didn't help him cook. He mad. You know, hey, when a man gets mad, he just needs his time alone.
Yeah.
He needs his time to think and just that's why he wasn't trying to talk. He said, "Look, we'll talk about this in the morning because I'm too upset to comprehend anything you got going on or got to say." in a
Yeah,
respectful
so
way. Mhm.
so the next scene, and I gotta clap it up for myself, because what I always tell y'all, I can read people. I'm a good reader of people, and
Mm,
I clocked this the
mm,
very first scene on the first episode. So, this scene, remember Brittany and Ty, they won the activity, so they are rewarded with this couple's massage.
mhm.
The whole time, Ty is doing what? Cracking jokes,
Cracking jokes.
right? I told y'all. I
Yeah.
said, "Man, he seems like he, like, does too much with the jokes,"
Just
right?
jokey jokes,
I
yeah.
love the joke. I'm rarely serious, but you gotta
Uh-huh.
know when to turn it off. So I can feel
Yeah.
that energy when somebody is doing a jokey joke thing, and I knew it. And
Mhm.
so Brittany was like, "Dang, he jokes so much, like, all the time, and I'm not feeling the romance." He was like, "Yeah, 'cause" and
He said,
punchline
"You're
and
liking that
punchline.
massage too much now, girl. You ain't complaining." I was like, yeah."
It's
I mean,
not
it
attractive.
is cool to crack a joke, but it's like, 'cause, some people are too serious, but you gotta balance it, man. You gotta balance it. You gotta be jokey, jokey, then you gotta be, "Alright, let me listen to, how you feeling. Let me key into your thoughts, your spirit real quick." You know what I'm saying? Let's connect on that. And it's not just, "Hey, girl, punchline, punchline, huh, huh, huh." It's like, come on now.
I
Get
felt the
serious.
energy. I felt the energy exuding from the
Mhm.
screen from him, and
Mm.
people that,
Mhm.
joke all the time, the issue
Mm.
is
Talk
they
about
are
it.
insecure with themselves,
Ah.
right? Because
Uh,
if I'm just me and I'm not making you laugh, will you really like me? So I got to
ooh,
be throwing the jokes out so you can be laughing, laughing. Okay, I gotta
ooh,
keep them laughing, because if I stop that and I just say,
and I'm
"Hey,
just
this
me.
massage is really nice, I'm really enjoying it," and I
Mm,
just talk like this, will you like me then? Will I still be cool to
mm.
you? So, Ty is insecure with himself. Either that or maybe for some reason he feel like he can't be himself around Brittany, and just let that guard down. It's okay, chill out. We don't gotta be joking all the time. So
You hit it right on the head. That is
I knew it. The very first scene, y'all,
I can't
it
remember
was
what was the first.
anyway. You could just
Mhm,
tell when somebody it overdoes it, and he just gave that to me. Other thing I wanna say about this scene, okay, I'm putting this out there too. Clock it, okay?
mhm.
This is the second time that I've heard Brittany use the term alpha man, okay? She used it in the first episode. I just
Uh,
can't wait to get me an alpha man.
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch.
Yes. Anytime I hear that, like, alarm bells go off, but I was like, "Okay, maybe she was
She
just saying
wants
that."
one. She wants a
Yeah,
alpha man. That's what she's saying.
maybe she was just saying that. Then she says it again on episode 3.
Okay.
She was like, "Yeah, I'm just so glad that Ty's an alpha man so I can rest in my femininity."
Mhm.
Women, don't say
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
You don't ever need to
That's
say,
true.
"I need an alpha man."
Yeah.
Clock it, y'all. This is what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, this is what happens. Anybody that
Mhm,
claims that they want an alpha man that's
mhm,
so big and strong and ruling the day, what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
mhm,
When that alpha man is an alpha man,
mhm,
then you're gonna say, "Oh, wait, you
mhm,
doing too much. I
mhm.
feel disrespected. But I thought you wanted a alpha this big, strong alpha man." It's gonna
Ah.
happen. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. So, but I'm just saying that's the second time she said that, and I'm like, "Why you keep saying that?"
Now, to Ty's point, or to Ty's defense, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with being a alpha, quote unquote, man, whatever that is, a masculine man. You know what I'm saying? Protector, provider. You know what I'm saying? Loves his woman, and and ain't going for the disrespect. So ain't nothing wrong with that because that's pretty much who I am. So, but it's just there's a balance on how you treat and speak and respond to your woman. That's all it is. But he don't gotta change who he is. He just gotta change how he communicates. There's nothing wrong with those attributes. Those attributes aren't bad attributes. I don't really like people trying to demonize a man wanting to be a leader. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't get it.
absolutely. What I'm saying is,
Mhm.
to your point exactly, I want a man that's a leader. I want a man use those.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody is needs to use that term, it
Mhm.
just sounds alarm bells go off for me, and I'm telling you it's gonna
Mhm.
happen. She said, "I want an alpha man so I can just be gentle," but
Y
as soon as
yeah.
he is a leader and does that thing that she's saying she wants,
Mhm.
she's gonna have a problem with it,
Yeah.
guaranteed, right? You need
Yeah.
to
Mm.
you need to want, qualities and traits like you're saying, not
Mm.
a alpha man. Like, what does that mean?
It just
Do you
shows
want a
ignorance.
leader? Do you want somebody
Yeah.
that can take good care of the child you have? Do you want somebody that's good over the finances? Do you want a man that goes to church? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
it shows the ignorance of knowing who men are in general, like, you're just typecasting every man to be a cookie cut way. If you're masculine, you gotta be this way. Just be masculine, be a leader, you know what I'm saying? Love your family, love your woman, you know what I'm saying? Put your life on the line for her, look out for her, communicate well with her, you know what I'm saying? Just try to serve her like she serve you, and then you'll be good. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Just clock that, y'all. I'm telling you, Brittany, any woman that says that, it's always the opposite. If she say she want an alpha man, that means she really don't need no alpha man. Because when he tries to lead, she gonna
Mhm.
have an issue.
So
She
you
really
saying
needs
she
somebody
type
that's more
A.
laid back.
So
Hmm?
she so you saying she low key type A. She a type A type of woman who, like, really aggressive, goes hard type, so she needs, like,
I
a
haven't
boxer.
seen enough from her on camera, but I just know that's the second time she said that. And
Mhm.
because the first time I let it go, the second time I'm like, "Okay, something gonna happen." You
Generally
saying that? You
generally, when
saying that?
yeah, when women say that, that means that they're kinda type A themselves, and they need a strong man to outstrong them.
That's a good point, which
So,
never
it's like,
works.
yeah, and that don't never work. Like, a guy that's masculine or a leader wants a woman who knows that her strength lies in her femininity, you know what I'm saying, and her wisdom. So, not necessarily her being an aggressive type man traits, you know what I'm saying? Like, men don't
Yeah,
like aggressive women, like leaders don't, like
right.
masculine men don't.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's pretty much in a nutshell what I was trying to say.
Mhm.
She probably sees herself as strong, so I need somebody that's stronger to rein me
Yeah,
in.
man.
But when he try to rein you in, you gonna have a problem, Brittany.
Mm.
You gonna have a problem,
I
okay?
just feel like women who tend not to, understand how to be feminine, and that you need a masculine, a super masculine man just to be feminine at all. Like, that's a you problem. Like, you need to work
Mhm.
on your femininity first, like, you need to go back to femininity class or whatever that is, and you need to work on you and then get with somebody, you know what I'm
She
saying?
seems quiet right now, but we'll
Yeah,
see. They haven't shown us too much of them. But I think next
yeah.
episode it's gonna be on.
Well, they showed some in the previews a little bit. I know we don't like to talk about previews, but,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we will
yeah,
see, but it's gonna come
yeah.
to a head.
We saw something going on, yeah.
Okay. Last scene, and this was hilarious.
Mhm.
So, remember we talked about that game when
Oh
who was
god,
saying yes and no.
Lord have
So,
mercy.
Jared is out with the boys playing football. He's like, "Yeah, I said F no." Remember, he's telling her like, "Oh, yeah, we just gotta figure out the logistics. Oh, you got a six-bedroom house? Oh, I got a three-bedroom house. Yeah, we
Oh,
just gotta figure
man.
out." But then he told the guys like, "Yeah, I said F no." Not no, he literally
Wow.
put F no. And,
F no.
he was like, "What is this, daddy daycare? You think I'm about to
It
have 6 kids?" We
yeah,
clocked it. Did we not clock it? He said, "I'm
clock
just here
it.
trying to crack." I never heard that. Maybe that's what the young people saying out here these
That's what
days.
yeah, the YNs, that's what they saying, nowadays, but I'm like, "Listen,
We clocked it. We said he
bruh,
just staying there to have sex and get a break from them kids. He do not wanna be with her. We already said that, and he confirmed it right
buddy
here.
was running game."
It's sad. Poor Charlie, 'cause she like I said, she holding on tight because she like,
Oh my
"Okay,
goodness.
I got
Running
somebody that's
so
gonna
fast.
watch my 4 kids." And
Yeah.
he was like, "Ha."
Got somebody who gonna watch the 4 kids he found out about 3 days ago.
Yeah, did that even sound right?
That don't
Any
even sound
normal
right. He
man
just
would have
found
left.
out about your kid. You was hiding 4 kids, 3 of them technically.
3 kids.
Bro, you was hiding 3 other kids from this man for years, or at least for an extended period of time, and you expect him to be like, "Oh, yeah, uh, I'll take on all the kids you were hiding from me and plus the kid that I was hiding from you." I
It's
kinda
too
have
much.
that obligation first because, I just had the kid and the baby mama is wherever they're at, and they probably need me more than you need me right now because clearly you ain't need me enough to have another baby.
I told
You
you
know
she
what I'm
wasn't working with a full deck episode 1, and as we can see but, I will say it is kinda messed up. It is sad that he is
saying? He be
manipulating
running.
her. Not even manipulating, he just straight out lying.
He's just lying. He's like he's sexually attracted to her, you know,
He
he
just wants to have sex. He just said it. He
just
wasn't
wants
even
to have
trying to
sex.
lie to us, the audience.
That's the problem. If you don't prioritize marriage before sex, you'll end up just like Charlie. And I hate to say it that way because people make mistakes, people end up in bad situations. I get that. But if you don't try to prioritize it, you'll just keep trying to have a baby with a guy just to keep him. That don't work. Have another baby with a guy just to keep him. That don't work. Have another baby with a guy just to keep him. And now you look up, you got 3, 4 kids, and now all you are is a sex toy to men. They never want to marry you. They never want to get with you. Your body's great because clearly you wouldn't be having all these babies if your body wasn't great. But you should be more than your body. You know what I mean? Try to establish something deeper with a man. Try to build a business with him. Try to do something to help him come up. Try to, just unpack the layers with this man instead of just giving him your tail every time. And then you put yourself in a better situation, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, this is pretty
doing the thing.
sad. So he made it clear, like, "I'm just trying to be a perfect gentleman. I'm just trying to go along to get along,
Mhm,
so we can have sex." So it's like, dang, that's messed up. He is, like,
mm,
giggling in her face like,
mhm.
"Yeah." It's
This is
like
his
that
get back.
Kool-Aid smile.
Yeah, this is definitely his get back. For he feels probably a little played himself and betrayed. I mean, as a
Yeah,
man,
that's a good point.
he's probably like, you know what? She played me, bro. Like we were talking for over a year or something. She said she had 1 kid. Next thing you know, she got 4. Next thing you know, we're talking. We're in a serious relationship. She's having sex with another man months ago, playing me, you know what I'm saying, and saying she loves me, but laying down. She said she had a hernia when she was giving birth. I
They
mean,
crazy, both of them
yes,
crazy.
he was like, "I'm getting back." Yeah, yeah, yeah. This girl, she crazy. She lied at the drop of a dime just to get what she want, and he's smart about it because she do lie. She lied. He lied too, but she a big time liar.
It's
So,
crazy because both of them to your point, he should be extremely a normal guy
mm,
would be extremely upset, hurt, and mad,
mm.
and he's none of those. He's like, "Ha, it's all good." And a normal woman would also be like, "What? You had a baby on me? When? Why? With who?"
Right?
She ain't said nothing about that. They both like, "It's all good." They both
Yeah,
crazy and
yeah.
toxic
You had a whole
and acting like
relationship going
nothing's
on.
happening. Not unless they're not showing us the conversations, but they're just acting like, "Woo, glad we got that out the way. Alright, we're gonna be a big happy family, cool." I would wanna know, like, "Wait, who is she? Bring her up on your phone. What happened?" Well,
Mm.
bet I wouldn't have stayed, first of all, but if you are gonna stay, like, don't you wanna know the details?
They ain't wanna know. Don't ask no question. Don't ask
Dang.
why I got a whole baby on you. Huh. Don't ask. I mean, come on, man. Like
But I
that
think because they're both in the wrong, I think they just
they're
both wanna move past it.
yeah, they're
Like,
relieved. They
"Yeah,
both
don't ask me nothing, I ain't gonna ask you nothing.
don't
Alright, we
ask
cool,
no
we cool."
question. I mean,
But I'm with Jared though. I ain't about to be in no house with no 6 kids. What? We got
ah,
3 and it's a lot. Can you imagine?
but it's a brand new baby daddy he gotta deal with a newborn. Then you
Yeah,
do
and all them
you
newborns?
you already knew the old one, the old baby daddy, the 12-year-old. Didn't know about the 7 or the 5-year-old. Like, you don't know who daddy that's for. You know what I'm saying? You know what
It's
I'm
a
saying?
lot.
It's like she is a lot, and he is too, but he only I mean,
Yes, they are both crazy.
they both wild.
And like we said, it's not gonna work. We already said that.
Mm,
But
mm,
yeah, y'all, that was the episode. So
mm.
episode 3, love the show. It is good. We are enjoying it.
Yes,
And so the drama will keep unfolding. So we will be back for episode 4 next
yes,
week.
yes.
See ya. Peace.
Holla.